corporations making the food as attractive as possible. If we would be a food company, you and me, we would do
Yep.
the same.
The Americans kind of taught Indians to eat their food, and now they have kind of forgotten what they used to eat. So rice bran oil, sunflower oil, and all of that.
Cheap
Uh,
oil, sunflower
yeah,
oil. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like nothing. That's bad stuff, right? It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
fat.
To
Yeah.
retire or something, rather I'll just get a big farmland.
Me too, man. Me
Yeah,
too. I
yeah.
will too. And what are
Take
back to the basics? What is that? Back to the basics? What is that?
हाय एवरीवन, दिस इज़ अंकित और आप देख रहे हैं टेक लाइफ एंड बियॉन्ड। आज के वीडियो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग रहने वाला है क्योंकि ये एक कैंडिड कॉन्वर्सेशन है जिसे कि मैंने कैप्चर किया था इसेंशली इस फैक्ट को हाईलाइट करने के लिए कि जो काम होता है या जो ऑफिस होता है वो हमेशा ही बोरिंग या फिर काम से रिलेटेड या फिर मोनोटोनस या एक डायरेक्शन में ही नहीं होता है। कई बार ऐसा भी होता है कि आपकी कोई मीटिंग है और वो मीटिंग कैंसिल हो जाती है और फिर दो कोलीग्स किसी बारे में बात करना स्टार्ट करते हैं और बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन में टर्न आउट होता है। तो इसेंशली अगर वैसे देखा जाए तो एक इंडियन पर्सन जो कि मैं था और मेरे ऑफिस में एक जो दूसरा पर्सन था यूरियान, बेसिकली हु इज़ मोस्टली पर्सन फ्रॉम नेदरलैंड। सो कैसे हमारी पूरी कॉन्वर्सेशन होती है अराउंड डिफरेंट थिंग्स लाइक हेल्थ इम्पैक्ट्स जो कि मॉडर्न लाइफस्टाइल के साथ आए हैं, कल्चरल इन्फ्लुएंसेस कैसे हैं लाइफस्टाइल को लेकर के, फिर उसके बाद से कैसे अवेयरनेस अब आ रही है, इंडिया का क्या इफ़ेक्ट रहा है ओवरऑल ग्लोब के ऊपर, कैसे इंडियंस ने लोगों को हार्मोनियस वे ऑफ लिविंग सिखाया इन पास्ट में, बट देन करंट सिनेरियो में कैसे वो चीज़ें चेंज हो गई हैं, कैसे बहुत सारी लाइफस्टाइल डिजीज़ेज़ इंडिया में देखने को मिल रही हैं। ओवरऑल लाइफ को लेके पर्सपेक्टिव कैसा हो गया है, हम बहुत ज़्यादा हसल कर रहे हैं या बहुत एक फास्ट पेस्ड लाइफ में जीने लगे हैं। तो उस टाइप के बहुत सारे कन्वर्सेशन हमारे होते हैं एंड एट द एंड कैसे कल्चरली डिफरेंस है लाइफस्टाइल में, अलग-अलग एज ग्रुप के लोग कैसे इंटरैक्ट करते हैं, कैसे होते हैं और ऐसी बहुत सारी चीज़ें। बट नॉट ओनली दैट, उसके बाद हम लोग लॉन्ग टर्म में लाइफ में क्या हम एस्पायर करते हैं, हमारा एंड गोल क्या है या फिर अगर सब कुछ लाइफ में एज़ एक्सपेक्टेड एज़ प्लान रहा, तो हम कैसे एक अर्बन लाइफ से मूव करके किसी और एस्पिरेशनल रूरल या फिर एक नेचुरल इको स्पेस में कैसे मूव करना चाहते हैं और कैसे वो अलग कल्चर के लोग भी एक तरीके से एक टाइप के ही कल्चर को इन्विजन करते हैं या कैसे वो आगे जीना चाहते हैं लाइफ में। तो ऐसे कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन को ये एक रैंडमली रिकॉर्डेड वीडियो है, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है। विद दैट आई विल जस्ट लेट यू लिसन टू द कंप्लीट कॉन्वर्सेशन।
I feel actually also better today, and I went on a run this morning early.
I always do a comparative analysis. So
They're probably bigger than the average Indian and
yeah,
Dutch guy, right?
yeah,
Heavier,
yeah,
I'm guessing,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
The Dutch guys are pretty tall, but they're
yeah.
probably heavier.
Yeah, but you'll see with Indians, they would look thin, they would look lean and not that hefty, but they might eat a lot. Like you never know how much a person. I
Yeah,
have
but that's because you guys have amazing food,
yep,
Anke.
yep.
If
I have
I
had
if
my friends. You look at them, they are like very short in height, not bulky, but then they can eat more than me.
Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but that's I understand if my mother was such a good cook as the average Indian mother, right, then I would be probably 300 pounds easily, just because of all the amazing food that we would eat, right? But yeah, that's the
correct.
thing with the Dutch. We eat cheese, we eat yogurt, we eat milk, we eat
Yeah, you
bread.
guys eat a lot of cheese. I mean,
Yeah.
like me and my wife always keep on wondering, like, how do you kind of process that much cheese? But then I don't see like a lot of people being obese or something. So,
We have the lowest rate in the world, one of the lowest rates. So yeah, that's because we always bike everywhere. No,
hmm.
it's because I don't know. It's if you look in France, Spain, the Netherlands, Belgium, there are not so much fat people there, and also in
Mhm.
Germany, it's like uh, yeah, for some reason it's I think it has to do with the food because in the US, food is over engineered to make you more hungry, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
everything from
Exactly.
the options for drinking, like nobody drinks soda here during the day. Like
Correct.
nobody does that. You should look
Yeah.
around. No Dutch person does that. An American guy, it's very easy at 10 in the morning to already have like
Mm-hmm.
for him, 10 in the morning already has like this big of a gulp thing full with soda, right? And a straw. I'm like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
different.
Yep.
We would never
I,
do it
I
that way.
Yeah, I really appreciate and kind of have learned a lot seeing this culture wherein people are cycling, they are running, that they are maybe like swimming. They always do something.
Yes.
While we used to be like this, maybe like 50 years ago,
Yeah.
hustle, mainly on the physical side of health. But now
Yeah.
it is more like going to gym, building muscles, but not much of, like cycles have kind of gone from India.
Not so much endurance.
Yeah, yeah. They have started to go very indoor sort of people. There is now a
Mm.
change. Now people are now going back to, like seeing farming, going to the natural places. They are trying to do that, but that's only like 10-20%. But I think that would change because India is now
Yeah.
seeing a lot of heart attacks, and then a lot of health
I
related.
saw that. I saw that, for instance, with some mothers from colleagues here in Breachlock. Like I'm asking, their mothers are getting a lot of like tough medical situations.
Yep,
And I'm like, holy moly, but your mother's in her 60s, right?
yep, yep,
My mother's in her 60s and she looks like she's 45, right?
yep,
She's
yep.
going out, she's hiking, she's running, she's biking, she's swimming. Yeah, it is. I can I personally see that already in India. Yes, from some mothers, from friends, that they're getting sick too early, right? It's not how it's
Correct.
supposed to be.
Yep, yep, yep,
And is that
yep.
because of the lack of sports, or is it also health or smog and other food or
Yeah, I mean a
stress, maybe?
combination of lot of things. Plus, I think the Americans kind of taught Indians to eat their food, and now they have kind of forgotten what they used to eat. So
Yeah,
specifically, like we used to have mustard oil or let's say ghee, but now we have moved to
yeah.
like rice bran oil, sunflower oil, and all of that.
Cheap
Uh,
oil, sunflower
yeah,
oil. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like nothing. That's bad stuff, right? It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
fat,
Yep.
bad
And
fat.
then lot of sugar, and as you said, right, like they kind of put some things which make you crave more for those kind of food items, like be it burgers or like noodles and
Mhm.
things like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it has got to blame as well to ourselves as well because we have kind of fancied other cultures more than sticking to our own. So we have kind of lost that way. But now I
It's
see,
so tough. You get manipulated by by what is around you, right? And how much influence do you have,
yep,
right? It's
yep,
like corporations making the food as attractive as possible. If we would be a food company, you and me, we would do
yep,
the same, right?
exactly,
We would
exactly,
not make a food. Yeah, well, if we can pick option A, which everybody craves and loves, or
correct,
we can do
correct,
option B, which is the most healthy, but we will sell 50% less. What would we do, right?
correct,
It's like, yeah, it's difficult.
exactly,
It's
yep.
yeah, it's always about show me the incentive, I will show you the outcome, right? So if
Exactly.
the
Yep.
incentive is making a lot of money, and in India people are hungry to make money, right? So yeah,
Exactly. Yep.
that's then you're
They are
gonna
now
get
kind
some.
of trying to go back to the basics. The earlier they do, the better.
And what are
It's
back to the basics? What is that? Back to the basics? What is that?
it's more like now they've started to go back to let's say eating jaggery than sugar. They have started to go back to farms. They have started to pick their own food or like grow their own food or like
Oh, that's good.
do
Oh
organic
well.
stuff. A lot
Whoa.
of youth now kind of thinking that way. And then going back to let's say like we used to eat sitting on the floor so that your gut is right in the
Yeah,
position.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you only
Exactly.
eat how much
And
you
you
need.
don't exactly when you eat on the
Yeah,
floor, you don't
yep,
want to just
yep,
continuously keep on going,
yep,
right? Yeah,
yep,
yeah, yeah.
yep. So maybe there is a change that is coming. Because like you are saying like in 60s, I'll tell you people are having heart attack in like 20s now in India. So
No.
yep, yep. You'll see 25-year-old guy collapsing or a 30-year-old guy collapsing. So it's very bad. The numbers are increasing like hell. People go to play any sport and they collapse there. So it's more like they
No.
have kind of stuffed their bodies with so much thing, and lot of adulteration as well in food that has to blame. Like
Mm,
like India does not have very strict food regulations as like other
okay,
countries.
yeah, yeah. So a
Yeah.
lot of shit goes in there. There
Yep.
really
Yep.
bad stuff goes in. Mm.
Yep. A lot of plastic that
Heavy
people.
metals,
Yep.
probably
Yep.
chemicals.
Yep. You also see in Netherlands, right? Like people eat a lot of packaged food.
Yeah.
From an Indian perspective, it was never considered to be good. But then now we are also kind of moving to that. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, we used to believe in fresh food. You won't find vegetables being sold in plastics back in India.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they
Interesting.
would be all
But
loose.
here the laws are very strict,
Yep.
about also about the plastics. It's changing. But for instance, every food gets tested insanely, right? If there are microplastics or chemicals, detergents, everything has to be completely tested. So there's like no illness, no sickness because of the food, basically. Everything
Yes.
is pretty fresh. It's not
Yep.
fresh, but it's pretty fresh. It's
Yeah,
healthy
at least
fresh, right?
it's what it is. It's not like adding something or the other.
Exactly. It's not adding bad shit to you, right?
Yep.
It's like the fibers are there, the nutrients are there.
Yep.
Obviously, your own garden would be the best, right? But
Yes.
yeah, not
Yeah.
everybody
Like
has that.
I kind of when I came here, what I had taught myself going back from here, like instead of kind of running to get an apartment or something, to
Yeah.
retire or something, rather I'll just get a big farmland.
Me too, man. Me
Yeah.
too. I
Yeah.
will too. Me
Yep.
too. I will do the same. And you
Yeah.
only need 100 square
Yep.
meters,
Yep. Yep. Like a
and
mud
you
house
can
would
grow
work for
everything.
me. Yeah, a mud house or a RV. I'll just park it there, but then I'll have a big farm wherein at least I can grow.
I will do exactly the same, man. In the east of the Netherlands, I have that plan also. Big
Nice, nice.
farmland. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have
In
my matlab, like it's more like ancestral land back in my village, and also
Oh,
like
really? You have that? Oh, wow.
yeah, also
Oh,
for my
amazing.
home you would find like six or odd mango trees,
Oh,
a
wow.
couple of more fruit trees. So it's already very green because I kind of like that, but
Yeah,
that's
it's like a
my
food
hometown.
forest. You
Yep,
made like a
yep,
food forest.
yeah. I have two
Wow.
dogs, so
Oh,
I,
really?
yeah, but I
Are they
kind of
here in the Netherlands also?
no, I could not bring them in, but they are back at my home. So I
Oh,
want to
wow.
kind of give them a better life along with giving myself
Yeah,
a
yeah.
better.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. Wow. So when you're going back to that place, and then also living more on the land then.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's a bit tough because like the work city kind of is very crowded, so can't have much of that. But in your hometown, like maybe for us, it's more like a village or a hometown or an extension of your
Hmm.
home. That is where you can build those kind of things.
And but when you go back to the city,
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's
that's
more like a
Noida. What is that,
yeah.
or Hyderabad?
Yeah, Noida. It's more like a rented
Uh,
apartment. Yeah.
do you
But
like the city? Do you like to live there?
I mean, I was in a southern city before, like couple of like 2 months back, and now Noida is better because it's close to my hometown generally, and I
Mm,
have kind of done all my college education from there only, so I am more
mm,
used to the culture or like being there, and yeah,
yeah,
it's good. It's good. I have the flexibility to go home. That is what matters at the end of the day.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Go back to where it's more relaxed, where it is
Yep.
more nature, more
Right.
grounded, right? Like
Right.
healthier.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah. With the
I
kind.
grew up by the sea, so my, my. Unfortunately, I don't have the money, but when I have the money, I will. If I become a millionaire one day, I will go back to the sea here in the Netherlands, close to the sea. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've seen
That's
lot of backwater cities in India, like in the southern part. But they are fabulous, and also like I've seen the ones like let's say Zanskhan, wherein there are so many houses by the back of water. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But if you want to be on the water in the Netherlands, you need a lot of money because there's not so much houses, right? So everybody wants to be have a boat in front of their house, and
Right.
one day I'll have enough, and then for sure
Yeah.
I'll get
And
a farm in the east and a house on the water in the west, and
water,
then you have
yes,
best of both.
right. And how do people kind of get? I have seen kind of houseboats or like people who live
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
How does
yeah.
that work? Do they purchase that piece or like how does that work?
No, it's actually there's like a predefined set of plots on the water,
Okay.
right? So the government, the municipalities, they allow for to people to live on the water actually.
Okay.
And the beauty of living on the water is that actually you get quite some advantages.
Oh,
So, for instance, there's a tax advantage. It's not a big advantage, but it's a very small. But
right.
it is cheaper to live on the water. However, maintenance is more expensive. So, in the end, living on the water is more expensive. It's very much a thing that is very much a tradition in families. What I've seen is that people that grow up on the water on a water boat, because the house actually moves sometimes a little bit, they prefer it. And it's also many people that, for instance, are like sailors or have a big connection with the water. They'd love to live on the water.
Water. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and it's typically cheaper houses because they are just from wood.
Correct.
They are cheaper to build. But it's always, I know some people that, they have plumbing issues, they have water pressure issues, they have electricity issues because it's all not as stable as a house that has like lines
Correct.
there for
Exactly.
for
Yep.
like hundreds of years, right? So there's always, because it's like a boat. And when you get a boat, and many people in the Netherlands have a boat. I had a boat.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a lot of issues, right? So
Ah,
yeah,
so
it's
it's very cool. I mean, I kind of see people using their boats on the Sundays, like just going with their family.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
exactly.
yeah, looks very cool. But then I don't know the details for sure. So, yeah,
It is cool, and I know my sister has actually looked at a houseboat, but it's how do you say that? It's a bigger hassle basically,
correct,
and there's always a maximum because you cannot build a gigantic house on the water. It's
correct.
always only maximum 2 stories as well. So
Correct. Yep.
that's it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Uh, I would never live there, to be honest. But yeah, I know people that have lived on those type of houses for many, many generations, and
Right.
yeah,
Right.
so it is what it is.
Yep.
Anyway,
And
how's your wife liking it also here? Does she like it?
yep, yep. She likes it here. At times she feels like going back. Yeah,
She
because I'm
misses
most of
her
the time in
family.
office. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
also
I can
India,
imagine.
Indian food, a lot of
Yeah,
freedom, being in your own country, like freedom in terms of like, like we used to order food and stuff even late at night, and then here things are very expensive. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
we live in a very restricted way. So those kind of things we sometimes feel that we don't have the freedom.
Yeah. You have to adapt, right?
Yeah,
We are not a 24/7 type of country, right? Where in
country. Yeah,
India,
yeah,
nobody between 12 and 9, the economy is still going, right? In the
yeah, yeah,
morning.
yeah.
That's not
And
the case here.
yeah, and even not everyone in Netherlands kind of want everything at their fingertips, right? Like just throw an
No,
app.
exactly.
Yeah, they want to work for it. They go, they eat out, they sit.
Yeah.
Indians have kind of gone into a lot of comfort zone. They would just sit in their home, well in the night. They'll order a cake or a muffin. They'll have. Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's how you get the heart attacks, Ankit.
Exactly,
Being
exactly.
so
Yeah, yeah,
sedentary, that's not good, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
You have to move. You
Exactly.
have to move. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I do
it is.
cycle, but yes, I know that is exactly where the problems are kind of coming in, wherein people are just stuffing their bodies with stuff.
Yeah, and it's that and then smoking and then a lot of stress. I also feel like your culture is that there's a lot of stress, right? In the culture, people are working
Yep,
so hard.
yep,
Like
yep.
they don't care about the long term of their body, right? They're just like, I'm just gonna go 190% every day, every second,
Right. Yep,
and you
yep.
cannot do that. That's not
Yeah,
possible. Your body will
yeah.
say no.
Yeah, they are kind of, I think we are in a race always, right? Like once you have nothing, you kind of race to start, then you kind of get into the race to excel, then you kind of get into a race to leave everyone behind and be, like a leader or like whatever, which is kind of uh, killing the, the whole idea of living in
Yeah,
harmony, peacefully, or like being
yeah.
happy. Yeah,
And
yeah.
you guys wrote a book on living in harmony and peacefully, right? So what are you doing, man?
Yeah, nobody's reading that anymore. Yeah, they're running too fast. I mean, again, this is also a shift wherein people are now getting back to reading about their religious books, getting
Yeah,
to how holistic things used to exist. And
exactly, man.
Yep, yep. Our
You
villages have
guys lived that. You inspired the
the
whole world
world. Yep,
to,
yep,
like the whole rest of the world, to become more in tune, more mindfulness, more in tune with nature, with
yep.
yogism, with guruism, right? With Buddhism, with peacefulness, with love, harmony, compassion. You guys taught us to that. You taught us.
Exactly. Yep, yep, yep,
Like
yep.
that's you guys wrote about this 3,000 years ago, basically.
Right.
So yeah, you should get back to that. It's important. It's very important.
Yeah, soon we like I think there will be a big shift in the coming years, either like forcefully or like voluntarily, but it would. Else it is
Yeah.
about to collapse. So it will happen for sure.
Yeah, you can never keep it up. You cannot sprint while you're running a marathon. Life
Yep,
is a marathon, right?
yep,
If you're
exactly.
continuously sprinting, halfway you have to give up. That's basically how
Yeah,
it is. And then
yeah.
and the thing is that the last, because I ran marathons, I don't know if you know, and I'm going to run a 100-kilometer race next year and in May.
Okay.
I can tell you it's never about the first 90%. It's always about the last 10%. That's when
10%.
that's
Yeah.
when you make it or break it, also in your life, right?
Hmm.
Typically, people here in the Netherlands make most money from 50 to 70.
Okay. Okay.
That's when all the compound interest really starts. That's when you get the best jobs, when your
Correct.
investment pays out the most. So yeah, if you make 90% of all that you make statistically in the last 20% of your life, then what the fuck are you
Doing. Yep.
already
Yeah. Yeah.
sprinting in the
For yep.
first five?
Exactly.
Like
Yep.
it's
I
not
agree
gonna
to
work.
that. Yep. I absolutely agree to that. Yep.
So with that, I hope आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया होगा. If you have been liking my content, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Till we meet for the next video. Thank you. Bye.